everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stella Rose and today we are going to do another declutter. I am going to be decluttering both my face palettes and my powders, and I kind of wanted to do a different angle. I didn't want to sit at my desk today because I've got like two different stacks of things. So we are on my floor and that is why you see all this stuff behind me. So if you like to watch declutter videos and are interested in what this is, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so that way you can get notified of all my future uploads. And let's go ahead and get into it. So we are going to start with my powders, which are over on this side. And the first one I brought is the one that I've been having in my makeup drawer. This is the Marc Jacobs. It is the Instant Blurring Beauty Powder. And I actually really like this one. It comes with a compact mirror, but it looks like this. And it is a little like skin colored, so it's kind of a nice blurring one where you can blur it into your foundation and everything. And I actually really like this one, so I am going to be keeping it. The next one I have is from my Project Pan, which is why it has that little duct tape sticker on it, and it is the Everyday Vacay from Ciate London Coconut Setting Powder. It does smell like coconuts. I actually really like this. It sets my makeup really well, and so I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. The next one I have is from Kat Von D. So this is from before when she didn't sell her company. It is the Lock-It Translucent Setting Powder, and I actually have never tried this. I don't care to try it. It's not something that I'm interested in, so I am going to go ahead and pass this along. The next one I have is from Mary Kay. This is the Translucent Setting Powder. I haven't used this in quite a while. I didn't really notice a difference on my skin using it, so I'm also going to go ahead and pass this one along. The next one I have is from Kevyn Aucoin. This is actually the Neo Highlighter Sahara in Golden Rose Glow. And for me, I didn't really notice, it didn't really highlight on me. So I started using it as a setting powder. And even though there's a little bit of shine on it, if you can tell it on here, I like to use this as a setting powder. So I am going to keep that one. The next one I have is from Huda Beauty. This is Pound Cake, the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. And I've really enjoyed using this. I just got it. It's something that has been in my everyday makeup drawer this past week. And I really enjoy wearing this. So I will be keeping that. The next one I have is from Wet n Wild. It is the Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder in Translucent, and I actually really like this one. It is a super big tub, as you can see, and it really sets my makeup well and keeps it on my face all day. If you are interested in the cruelty-free status, it does have the cruelty-free logo on there. From Wet n Wild, it is cruelty-free, which is awesome. So if you are interested in that, check it out. And I think it's only like $6, $7, something like that. It's really inexpensive. You get it at Walmart or anything like that. So I will be keeping that. The next one I have is from Urban Decay. It is the All Nighter. It's the waterproof setting powder. It has a little bit of a color to it, but I really enjoy this one. It definitely kind of blurs my skin. It is waterproof. It sets my makeup all day. I've noticed that I really like my makeup after I put this on. It is something that I was actually sent free for review Influencer, and I bought it again. So this is my second one. That's how much I like it. So I bought it again, if that tells you anything. The next one I have is from Too Faced. It is the Peach Blur Translucent Smoothing Finishing Powder. It looks like a peach. It has the little peach emblem on it that is raised, And I just don't use this enough. I haven't gotten a lot of use out of it, but I don't reach for it. So I am going to pass along this one. The next one I have is my Lime Life by Alcone. This is a white translucent setting powder. I haven't used this enough to really tell if I like it. So I am going to keep it and use it some more. And then the next one I have is from Beauty Bakery. This is the Flower Setting Powder in the shade Cassava or Yellow. And I actually really like this one. It definitely sets my makeup really well as some of these other ones. And I've noticed it's a little bit better than some of my other ones, like my Ciate London. It's a little bit better, but I still really like the Ciate London. Anyway, I am going to be keeping this one. The next one I have is from Becca. This is the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. And I have used like the crap out of this. It's like over halfway gone. And I did notice that it does have that cooling effect. You have to put on enough at one time in order to notice that it still has that Hydra Mist part of it. If you don't put a lot on, I've noticed that it kind of has gone away. And I've just had it for like a month or two. So it kind of, the Hydra Mist, the like refreshing part of it, the cooling part of it, if you notice that at the beginning, it starts going away, which I've heard a lot of people say about it, but I am going to keep this because I do like using it. The next one I have is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade 2 medium. And I actually really like this one. I do want to get the full size, and so I'm going to actually pass this one along. I just need to get the full size. The next one I have is from the AOA Studio, which is Shop Miss A. This you can get for like $1 on the website. It is a finishing pressed powder in the shade Toffee, and I noticed that it's a little too dark for me. So I will be passing this along. I've actually only swatched it. I haven't actually used it, so I'm going to pass that along. Last but not least, I do have something that is a very controversial item. It is the Jeffree Star setting powder in the shade Rose. This actually smells so good. And I didn't think a setting powder would smell this good, but it is amazing. It smells like berries. And I actually really like putting it on my face. It sets my makeup really well. I understand the hype behind it when it first came out. It is absolutely amazing. And the shade Rose is my middle name, which is why I got it, and I will be keeping it. So that is going to be all of the setting powders that I went through. Now we are going to move on to my face palettes, which are on this side. So if you're interested in the face palettes, go ahead and keep watching. So we will start off with this Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow. It has a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer. And it's a little hard panned, but I still enjoy using it, so I will be keeping this. The next one I have is from Wonder Beauty. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It's called Trip for Two, and it has a bronzer and a blush. The blush is really pretty, and I kind of like the bronzer. It works for me when I am a little, less tanned, so during the winter. So I am going to keep this. The next one I have is from Cover FX. This has a bunch of stuff in there. So there's two highlighters, a brightener, a finishing powder, a contour, and a blush. And it looks like this. I am actually going to pass along this because I feel like I have way too many face palettes and I'm not reaching for this. So this will be passed along. The next one I have is from The Balm. It's the Girl Powder Blush, and I think there's one highlighter in here if I can open it. Yes. So there's 3 blushes and then the highlighter over on this side. That is what it looks like. I know my lighting is not good at all. I do apologize for that. But I will be keeping it. I do really enjoy all 3 blushes and the highlighter as well. So I will be keeping that. The next item I have is from I Heart Revolution. This is the Bronze and Glow palette. It has a bronze and a highlighter. The highlighter is super gorgeous, and the little thing just fell out. So the highlighter is super gorgeous, but I've noticed that the bronzer is a little too light for me, so I am going to pass it along because I have so many highlighters that I don't need just a face palette for a highlighter that I might like every so often. The next one I have is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette. It is such a gorgeous palette. I absolutely love all the colors in it. They are so much fun to play with. You've got a blue hue, you've got a green hue, a purple, and a pink, and then a couple of other ones that are just, I love this palette. So I will be keeping that. The next palette I have is the Park Ave Princess from Tarte. Super cute packaging, love it. This is a couple, I don't know whether or not to keep this one because I will say I only use like 3 of the contours. This one is too dark for me. And then I don't use these at all. So I really like it. I haven't got a lot of use out of it. So for now, I'm going to keep it, but I might declutter it later on. So that is something I am keeping. The next one I have is from Ofra. This is the Midi palette in Sweet Electric. There is a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer. It looks like this. If you have a light enough hand, this bronzer works, and it's kind of sparkly, which I really like. And then this is a beautiful highlighter, and this is a really pretty blush, not brush. Really pretty blush. So I will be keeping that. The next one I have is from Kiana Ontiveros Beauty. I think that's how you say it. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It's a blush and shine kit. So there's some blushes on the bottom. This is technically the bottom because I'm holding it upside down. And these are the highlighters. And I haven't used this palette at all. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it along because I don't feel like I'm just going to get any use out of it. There's only a couple of blushes. There's only like 2 blushes that I might use and then like 1 highlighter. So I'm going to pass this along. The next one I have is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. This is the new packaging. It smells exactly like chocolate. I absolutely love it. So I only use like these 2 colors, and like again, I don't use any of these on the top. I don't know how to use that. I just know that I really like this, but since I don't really get a lot of use out of it, I'm going to actually pass this along, which really surprised me. I didn't think I was going to do that. So, yay me. All right, the next one I have is from Flower Beauty. These are just highlights, and they are absolutely gorgeous highlights. They look like this. It comes with a brush, and I'm going to swatch just this one shade right here for you. Actually, I'm going to swatch the pink shade as well because these are gorgeous. Do you see the payoff from that? Like, I know my lighting is awful, but oh, so pretty, especially this one. I know you can't really see the pink one, but it's really pretty too. But I love this, so I will be keeping this. The next one I have is my Narcissus palette. It is the Cheek Studio palette, and I've got blushes up top, well technically on bottom. We've got a contour, a contour here, a bronzer here, and a highlight here. So I don't use either of these. This is Laguna. So if you know what Laguna is, this is a classic. I like that one, so I use that. And then I use all these blushes. This is in my everyday makeup drawer this week, and I will be keeping it because it is a great, great palette. Okay, the next one I have is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette in dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. It looks like this. So these are just some highlights. And I haven't gotten a lot of use out of it, but I know that I really like the payoff that the highlights have in this palette, so I will be keeping it to get some more use out of. The next one I have is this. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection times Casey Holmes. And there was quite a bit of stuff in here. So I have the perfume that's in here. Up here, I have the lip gloss over in my lip drawers. And then these are some eyeshadows. This is a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer. And I actually haven't gotten any use out of this at all. This is a limited edition highlighter. And I'm not sure what to do, but this is what it looks like. So it is the deep bronzer of the Butter Bronzer. It's the Copacabana blush and the Just Beachy highlighter. So what should I do with this? Well, I haven't gotten any use out of it. I would keep it just for the highlighter, but there's no point because, again, I have so many highlighters. So I think I'm going to pass this along. Okay, down to like 3 more. So the next one I have is from ColourPop. This is the Creme de la Creme palette. It is a bunch of highlighters. And I've noticed that I just haven't been reaching for these highlighters. There's nothing wrong with them. I think they're a little hard panned. So if you like scratch off the top, they might have a little bit of better use. I'm gonna scratch it off real quick and then like swatch it. Let's see if it works a little bit better for me. Yeah, it works a little bit better once I scratched off some of the top. I'll take a little piece of tape and then like do that. But there's some really pretty colors in here. But I just haven't been reaching for it. So I am also gonna declutter that one. The next one I have is the Benefit Cheek Leaders Pink Squad palette, and it has blushes, bronzers, and a highlight in there. It looks like this. So we've got the Hoola bronzer, we've got the Tickle highlighter, and then California, Dandelion, and Dallas blushes. So I actually really like this palette. I love the Hoola bronzer. I love the Tickle highlight, and then the California and the Dandelion blush I really love. I actually haven't used the Dallas blush. It kind of scares me. It makes me feel like it's like a bronzer, but it's a blush, and so I just haven't dipped into that yet. And I'm still gonna keep that though. So this is a keep. Last one is the Laura, you can see me, the Laura Geller Shades of Nude Multitasking Eye, Lip, and Cheek Palette. It is a cream to powder formula. And we've got a blush, bronzer, and a highlight. I've tried to, well, I've swatched it, I think. I don't think I've actually used it. And I don't really use cream products. Kind of intimidates me. I know there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, and I'm not there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody who is more willing to learn about that learning curve with the cream to powder formula. So I will be passing that along. So that is my collection. And this is what I am keeping of the powders. This is what I'm getting rid of. I know it's not a lot. There's only like 5 there. And there's all these over here that I'm keeping. Don't judge me on my powders. And then over here, I'm keeping all of these. And then I am getting rid of all of these. So I think I did a lot better than I thought I would with my face palettes, because I didn't think I was going to declutter that or that or that. Those four items I knew I was going to declutter, but those other 3 kind of were a surprise to me today. But so, yep, keep pile, declutter, and my small declutter pile over here, and my large keep pile over here. So I do appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. I absolutely love doing these declutters. I hope you love them too. So make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of thing, and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you can get notified of my next declutter. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.